Hey, what's up everyone? It's Sam from canoetrippers.com and it's really nice outside. I think it's almost 26 degrees, so I'm going to try to keep this video fairly short and sweet and to the point. So I'm going to show what I'm using to film with my GoPro Hero 5 camera. And the first thing that I'll show you is my GoPro Hero 5, nothing special about it other than I have the housing open on the left side when the camera's facing away from you. So I have that housing open, and that's because if you're filming on YouTube, you do need good quality audio and you need an external microphone. So there's going to be two things that you need in order to film with an external microphone using a GoPro Hero 5. And the first thing is obviously the GoPro adapter. You can't use any other adapters right now. There's no other cheap ones that work. And it's a USB-C to a 3.5 millimeter jack. And again, make sure you get the GoPro Hero 5 one. Right now there's none on Amazon or anywhere that I know of that will do the trick. So it needs to be the GoPro one. And the other thing that you're going to need is obviously somewhere to mount the microphone. So you might recall that this dead cat actually was showing up in some of my video footage. I'm going to quickly walk through how I fixed that using my aluminum housing case. So you might notice right now that there's actually probably about 1 inch sticking out of the top of my aluminum housing case. So this aluminum housing case, you can get it on Amazon. I think it's about 50 bucks. Just where the shoe mount was, it was showing the dead cat. So what I did was I just went to Home Depot and I got a larger screw. And make sure that it's the same type that came with the shoe housing, because if it's not that flat screw, the shoe mount, the microphone might not go in the shoe mount. So make sure that it's the same one or the same type of screw. It's just longer. So this screw that I got is 1.5 inch screw, and I also got a coupling nut. And what that does is essentially it's acting as a spacer right now. And then I have two finishing washers on the top and the bottom, one between the shoe mount and one between the aluminum housing, just to not cause any scratching. And the friction of the rubber on the finishing washers is causing a lot of friction. So this isn't, like you can tell, this isn't moving. So that's what you want to do if you kind of want to customize this. To make it a little bit easier, like I've fooled around with this a lot, and there are ways that you can just mount it just flush the way that this aluminum housing comes, but this just makes it so simple, so carefree. I don't need to worry about, fiddling around with this in the bush or fiddling around with this just in general now. If I'm looking to take photos, I would have to take it off because the wide angle film shot, this shows up in it quite a bit actually. And there's nothing I could do with it mounted flush on the camera where it wouldn't show up in the photo frame. So it's a wider frame when the GoPro Hero 5 takes photos. So just keep that in mind. With this on now, I can take photos, I can take time-lapse photos, stuff like that. It's just, I don't need to worry about this dead cat anymore, which is a huge bonus for me. Again, my microphone, it's the Rode Video Micro, and I have a link in the description. And I think it's a great microphone so far. I've had no problems with it other than the large dead cat, and I do want this dead cat because I think it's going to come in handy when I'm out on the lake. And then I do have a tripod. You do want to get a bulkier tripod, and the reason you want to get a bulkier one is because this aluminum housing frame is actually pretty heavy. So some of the other cheap ones that you get from China, the octopus ones, they're very flimsy and it actually won't support the camera. So make sure you get kind of a little bit of a sturdier one, spend a little bit more money. I will link this exact one in the description. And yeah, that's it. So to show you how it all fits together, the only reason I would need to take this out of this housing now is to change the battery, because I can get to everything with it just being in the housing frame. So that's super cool. So let me just kind of show you how this all goes together. And then the other thing that I want to stress is that when you are buying an aluminum housing, there's one very important thing that you want to make sure that you do, and that's to make sure that, again, you have one with You want to make sure that the opening for your USB port, your memory card, and everything else is completely open with your aluminum housing. There's some on Amazon right now that aren't big enough to basically support this bulky adapter plugging in. So again, make sure that when you do get one on Amazon that this whole side of the housing case is open. And I'll just quickly show you how it looks now with everything put together. Now again, some of my shots, they're not going to be with this big bulky tripod. I did get with the package that I got from Best Buy. It actually had a little ring that you can attach the GoPro to, so I think I'll be trying to attach that ring to one of the thwarts maybe on the canoe. This is what it looks like all set up. And with this big bulky adapter, what I do is I normally wrap it around like a few times like this to kind of just get it out of the way. And then that's it. This is my setup. So you can kind of just fiddle around with the bulky adapter a little bit. Actually, so yeah, the adapter is a little bit annoying. You do kind of need to just play with it to get it out of the way. But anyway, so this is what it looks like. This is what I was filming with when I was outdoors, and I know that I was kind of holding the camera a little low. So that's it. This is my setup. I'm really happy with it. I also got some spare batteries, and I mean, I think that's all I need. So share maybe what your setup is. If you found this video helpful at all, comment, like, subscribe. So yeah, take care, and I will hopefully catch you outside because it's super nice out.